And perfect little morning it is. And like my dad would say, it's hump day. Wednesday, the middle of every week. If you're basing the week on Monday through Friday, which used to make sense, but it shouldn't anymore, because Monday through Friday, for me, is no different than the rest of them. Sleep in, go to church, have fun, find regret, repeat after the next 5, grind through for a long time. I can't remember the last time I waited for a piece of the weekend just to be able to relax. Must have been high school, because they got you by the grip until you have enough of that grip. And if you were me, you say, all right, I'm sick of waiting for 5 days to go by just to get my dues and proper, as what any blossoming young teenager in this world deserves. You only get to be that age once. The rest of the time, you're just sucking it up. Looking like garbage, eating trash, and trying to find a way out. Till death finds a way for you to go in. And if your eyes still have a glimmer of hope in them, they'll stick around till it goes dark and the casket clicks, then drops, taking you 6 feet underground. Which, I talked to a couple grave diggers. These days, the days that they have dug graves in, they don't go 6 feet deep anymore, unless it's for the guy on the bottom. But most of the time, those guys are already there, from what they tell me. They're the ones doing the digging. And so the next guy could be you. Someday, it definitely will. If you want to be a sucker till you die and pay for expensive tears to drop on somebody who should have been forgotten 20 years before you ended, then you could have that second floor apartment right above the guy who was buried 6 feet deep, and you got a paper thin sheet of that mucky brown quileche out there in Texas. If you come from a state loan like that with the star, to give you just enough padding to give you that eternal moment of whatever you actually think is going on in your dead body, which is nothing more than the bugs in between gassing you out, nibbling you up, and thanking God you made it so that they don't have to go that day, because they ate you. Yeah. But today, we're above ground. And those grave diggers I know, they already have instructions. Turn me away if somebody gets to being smart and thinking they're clever, like people sometimes tend to do in life, especially when you ain't around or moved on. Those mouths open up and give them a chance to start being important for the moment in the day. Got interrupted. Wife calling from new iWatch. Cellular capabilities without the phone. Only watch that makes sense. If you were to nestle up to that letter and think you're doing something right in your days. And I can't say that it's leaning all that way towards the blessed and the to be revered and followed by the next that looks upon your wrist and sees 46 millimeters of shiny china tempered glass hacked off of Samsung, and one more memory that Steve Jobs didn't like angles, or you can insert a lot of stuff there, but we'll just say Bill Gates. Not particularly, but I hear they're reconciled, so unless Walter Isaacson was lying in his biography, which I listened to, didn't read. Too many pages. It works when you're kicking heroin back in the days. It's a nice way to take your mind off the fidgeting. So I'd replace it with just those dudes from Google, because he didn't go for Android too much. And none of their buggy phones. All that open source brought him back flashes of Windows 95 and all that open source it had. People can only be idiots for so long until they're not. And the few break free and give their dream to the rest. And I'm speaking on all that open source that is an Apple, and how it can't last forever, because eventually, no matter how good your product is, people are gonna want to do something else you didn't think of. Me being a prime example of a loyal Appler up until the point I got my first Windows 3.1 machine and realized I could have a lot more access to a library of software at my poor fingertips, but with the skill to duplicate, copy, pirate, and repeat. Versus that old Macintosh Classic that looked so sleek and smooth, still only having the same game load runner as one that you could always touch back on from time to time and be glad that those few minutes weren't wasted in another episode of you watching air on its way to find a coat of paint wet so it can dry it off and make it right. As the numb calms the wall from the back of your eyes and the nothing from everything looking through it. Speedens up the process. Just a scotch. Not a bit. Not a smidge, but a scotch. Which isn't much, but it's just enough to make you look like a better painter than the guy next to you. Because you got eyes. On a prize heavily fought for. If you're in America today, real estate hungry Miami. Everybody's building, painting, remodeling, repeating, and then recommending just because it gives them clout to their group of friends that they got somebody who's not going to take till next decade. How about we just go to the next U.S. Census to get it done? But half the time, they're jumping the gun and would have been better off pulling the trigger in their handyman because he's another one typically winning in the end, because long gone is the only place he'll be when that job is done shitty and becomes friends with falling apart. Noticeably, and every time while your wife's watching next to you, where you're just far enough away to give her reason to turn that neck, aching as it always is from your lack of rubbing the day before, because you're getting complacent in that relationship and don't think you need to do it 7 nights a week like you did when you first started trying to bang her. And after kid 3, she'd be lucky if she's got 2 rubs worth of hay penny kicked out a loafer's boot in 1923 at a Chinese stand that wasn't offering massages. Just girls training up to blowjob and needed somebody to practice on, and your back, noodling that it is, fit the build. Is how I put a picture on where you're going now. But her eyes, big and beady and angry and red, bloodshot and clear and devilish, but with Jesus behind every word and the truth right in front of him, letting your ass get a piece of worthlessness as a man and fucked in the room where you sleep, because every time a piece of tile falls out because of bad grout, stuff you penny pinched a quarter off, 25 of them, it's one less trip into the hole you like most. And that's not her mouth, although you'd wish you could shut her up. If only you knew how to quiet those eyes, judging down all that truth. to be blamed on all those cheap parts of you. That's what penny pinching in Miami it tend to do. Now, as you can see, we're just on a roll. Where are we going? No particular place, but we're just having a good time with it. We're driving down Alton Road, got my son in the back. We got a brand new, I guess, month-old Dodge Ram Laramie edition. Pretty souped up, but not quite as souped up as my brother got it. You know, it was the first new car I got, and didn't want to go all the bells and whistles, just most of them. All I regret is not getting the V8 because it sounds a lot tougher. He's got me on that one. But when I open my doors, footrests come out to assist my wife in getting down. I await his wife's trip and my redemption. Any day now. There's a good behind every piece of envy. For yourself, if you just look through the envy and find the best way to work it back around to you being the victor. Isn't that right, son? The victor in life must always be you. Because you, son, are only racing yourself. And the medal is only awarded to one who is true to himself and at the end knows that he did it the way he wanted to. Every time, anytime, and all the time. No matter the consequences, short of learning from the bad ones and gaining from the good ones, I imagine it evens out. But all ends the same for the rest of us who do like we do now and play the part, droning on through. The only difference is the few that take the time, not every day, but most days, to consciously think about why it is they are doing whatever it is in that day. Because most of the time, it's something you'd be better off not doing. If you want to end that day with a smile and a little check in the tally of all the days worth a damn and the ones you wouldn't have to replay if they didn't keep popping up in every time slot when you can't find your clicker. Quit watching them go by. Because as you get older, they fly. Anyhow, that's wisdom. Son, little piece of wisdom, little piece of life, little piece of humor and all that. We're just getting through a little piece of drive. And we're just thinking, going, talking, blowing out hot air. And trying not to suck in the rest. Because what we can give is what you can get. And I may sound cynical, I may sound nonsensical. I may sound monotone. I may sound incomprehensible. I may sound crazy. I may sound smart. I may sound like I've been around a block or two, and I may sound like I'm just having another false start. Whatever that may sound like to you, keep listening, I promise. You'll understand, even if I don't, what it is I'm staying stuck, blabbing here to do. And that would be, son, happy that we are the first people in this parking garage at Mount Sinai Hospital. Piece of shit hospital, piece of shit people, piece of shit way they do things, and piece of shit sneaky way to save the rich just so they can keep getting piles and piles of donations on cancer wings I'm never going to get to use. And even if I did, I'd ask to take me off the Jackson because I don't like all these non-anonymous donators looking at me in their big, grand painting kingly pictures, giving me a thought that I'm gonna die in their house. And why would they care? I didn't give anything. Not taking my life. I'll die with the poor. But anyhow, this is good pediatrics. It's all that Miami has, and we're going to be the first patients so that they can't keep us in the waiting room all day. And this charge that they're going to want to make me pay for the parking, guess what, son? 9 out of 10 times I don't have to pay. You know why? Because I tell them the ridiculousness of I don't have a card or cash. Damn it, forgot it all. What, are you gonna not let me out? I just forgot my wallet. Free. Let's go. And away we are about to go, son, but that's the most that I can provide in terms of hope that it's going to be sooner than later, because lights in Miami around this side of town, leaving this little spot and at this unperfect time, can generally last a lifetime. And I truly am sorry to be in your shoes that I took off before we got in the car, so you could feel the breeze that will feel like is never going to come, because time is all relative to how we know to take it. And when you're young, as you are, my son, the youngest one could ever hope to be, at that perfect point where the things in life are matching. The knowledge seems to be evolving, clicking, and you are learning your own little dance. And I would be impatient just like you aren't, actually. Oh yeah, I forgot, you're pretty good. You're not a impatient guy, because exactly, buddy, I got you that good seat. Went against all those Yeah, I went against everybody's orders. Yeah, me and your mom. That's right. You can look front facing like everyone else in the real world. And way ahead of schedule from all your weird dented head baby counterparts who gotta be, they gotta be looking at the back of the seat still. Yeah, Dada did that. He said, I outweigh positive with it could happen. Crashes always are on the forefront of any person that drives and wants to put a risk into play. Yeah, it's possible there could be a head-on collision. But I think we'd all be done anyway. So why not let you see how you go rather than try to nestle you up looking at the back seat? Because then you just wake up, if you did live, and have no parents. And I'd be pissed looking down at you saying, why did I have to wear seatbelts all this time? And now you got somebody from the state governing you, or even worse, one of our families has to take you in. Now you got to grow up like them, which is not what we wanted. Not by a damn landslide. You'd be better off with mom and dad moving on up to that big old house in the sky. Not really, but there's humor in that somewhere. That's me, buddy. Your best flavor for an advanced piece of this nonsensical life that you're beginning to whirl right through. Wow is right. Never stop using that word. You'll never stop feeling it. Wow! Because that's what the world is out to do for anybody who's willing to care about things that most shun off, chip away, and take for granted as just more of the redundant that goes on every day, and they got no time for giving it so much of an expression other than nothing, because for them it's just another plane in the sky hurtling above, full of what the future held. And right here on a stepping stone on the place in 10 years, or when you're me, it will finally be. It's a wow moment to look up there and see anything other than a cloud going from one side of that space to the next. Because it makes you think, how'd you do that? Wow. I want to know more about all of that. Right, son? But others, they take no notice and give no face to something they categorize to be well in a redundant place they've already been in their sad years. And if those days have told them much, it's to not do it with the same gusto or enthusiasm as you did the day before. or else the false hope wrongly could be given to something not deserved to be a got. Of a chance to keep going by one lacking in such human qualities that anything other than himself falls into the redundant place that plays itself out without even being heard. Don't be that person. And it's easy to agree, but harder to not be a person kind of like that person, just not nearly as exaggerated as Dad just splayed him out. For all to see with their ears. But is that exaggeration really an exaggeration at all? Or more of a compliment to everyone, including all those who are just kind of like that person? Because it's a slippery slope, son, to disregard the amazing in the world. For no other reason than, have you ever asked yourself the reason why you don't look up at planes anymore and say, wow? Because it's still pretty damn amazing. And there's a reason why, if you want to win on a first date and get out of there cheap, and by saying that, you'll be in good spirits at the end, no matter if you get what you want and she spreads it, bends it, or sucks it, or you don't. You just drop it off and you jerk it. And you live in LA? Even if she's been there, she'll say yes to do it again and have a bite at the In-N-Out on Sepulveda next to LAX. Because whatever you think about In-N-Out isn't the reason why that one's so popular. It's just the icing on the big old jets flying right over your head, throwing off cheap hats and interrupting bums sleeping and giving all them tourists with their fancy professional iPhone cameras their moment to think they really shine and did something that hadn't been done so many times in the same manner, and it will only get better in the manners after. Because ignorance is bliss, and planes make for a better date than Morton's Steakhouse. If you're smart about it, you could probably get out and still get a home run your conversation is worth a damn, half a damn, or you just know how to shut up and listen and take cues on when to lean over and grab a peck, and then the next one to ask her up for tea and dick, which ain't that much past pre-algebra. So if you know that, you'd be happy at the end of the night. It didn't land you in a place that tasted like regret, which a $700 meal at Morton's for a tomahawk steak that didn't even get a bite, half a hatchet's worth finished, she felt like ordering on your dime, to only repay it with a lame duck missionary position moment you wish didn't have to take up that space on your brand new belt. Because she was a chalk mark you wish was never chalked. And that's where the nothing can go. And that's how a mind that would have been normally droning on through the drive, one I've done many times, over and over, and times before, with white knuckles and boiling insides, to change it to peaceful thought. About whatever came and made a think. The connected, the piece by a word good enough that I'd let it come spitting, then hurling, and flying, then falling, and landing from my mouth into your ear. I wanted to say stupid ear, but you didn't deserve that. And I know that. So I held back, wondering why the thought even came to mind. So I brought it back, because even thinking about calling your ear stupid, even now, even though I didn't say it, still makes me chuckle a bit. Brings a smile to my inner self because of how it hits the chord in so many weird ways nobody thought could have been played. But those are my sounds, and I won't humor them on being played at the likes of you and your stupid ear. And that's the moment when we're dropping Leonidas off from the doctor's office. We are just about there. So I will just about continue to wrap this up in precisely the opposite way I did when I made this beautiful child. And glad I made that choice, because he's the best and has no stupid ears, unlike you, the dumbest. And he's sleeping. Ah, alright, ready to go? Let me roll that window down for you, look what's served. Let's hit it and drive and bust through the gust that is the blustery day caused by this wind. A little too poetic, son? Yeah, been one of them days. But not only for me, right? Mine was rather calm compared to the events you survived. I need to get the whole story, because I bet you the person telling that to me a minute ago didn't have all the words I was looking for. When she told about the incident with another little swell, same size and stature as you, I didn't get a look at him, but that's how he was described, and I imagine they don't put you in with him. He was? Okay, his name was Hopper. Gotcha. Well, that troubled boy, he lashed out at you. But without seeing it, I can't say it was a good choice or just crazy reaction, because what happened to you, son? That doesn't happen to anything in my world, anybody living in it, and any story told around it at all. Not since, I don't know. I got my full set of teeth and was told use them correctly. And don't bite people, because it pisses people off. So I didn't. And hesitated. Even when the girls who liked it, that read vampire books to wee hours of the night, all alone, hoping for that Lestat to come in and satisfy his eternal craving on their supple, lonely skin, pale and delicate, waiting for a pair of incisors to pierce and suck. I had a little trouble with it, because I was taught from an early age, as you are from mom and, occasionally me or mom, you don't bite people. It's kind of weird. Even in some sort of vampire fetish, later on in your years, you'll be in a couple that you're like, how did I get into this? Yeah, it doesn't really play out as something anybody could just get into and be all in. You're always like, huh? What do you want? I don't do this to anybody else. They say don't bite. From when I last remember hearing that was, when we were your age, son. It stinks. But some, it doesn't stick good enough, or it the vampires. Yeah. That boy's maniac parents, probably too busy being maniac parents. And those fall under a category, in my mind, it should be Rand McNally's. Son, definitely yours. Ones that don't teach their maniac, wannabe vampire, cannibal kids how to react when somebody takes their community toy. Because it ain't theirs. If you can't bring in your own toys. If you put it down and somebody grabs it, like you, son, you should be alright. For the most part, in life. Some people will try to punch you later on down the line if you do it. So don't be a PAS. Don't have that way about you when you're going in for the grab, or else you better know you're going to have it coming. I'm sure you will, so taunt and tease at your discretion. Yeah, I know, buddy, like Dad does. But this maniac biter left quite the indention, enough to bring it to one of those forensic specialists and get him put away if he ran away and we couldn't find the maniac biting child with maniac retarded parents that watch too many things in life that aren't their maniac Wolfman John Wayne Gacy to be son. At all. Yeah, he's not in any of the shit they watch. Now at this point, they all just like biting. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's a lunatic, but he did the right thing. I hope, actually, if I get the full story, that right thing was knocked his block off with a good punch that your pops taught you how to do. Straight on. No fluff, no side hitting, no half fist. Like a club hammering out knuckles, ready to break that ball doughy fist all you babies got. But I know it hits hard enough to put a good dent in some of that soft forehead, looking right back at you with that drooling, evil, biter mouth. Crazy as it can be, maniac as he was. I hope you handled it that way. But she wouldn't tell me that. She just said, you didn't cry. You were cool. So I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's good you didn't cry, but I think he deserved a bit of a landmine delivery from those biceps you've been pumping up with all that crawling you used to do. Now you're honing in and leveling them out with all that equilibrium work your walking's showing you now. Be nice to see that combination honed in and worked through at its finest for the first time on anybody but your dad's head, because you love to lay straight punches in my face. They're getting better, but that's just like the dumb bag. You gotta hit a moving target, as doughy and small and biter as it may be. Take the risk and fight back if they hit you. If they leave a mark, don't scratch, punch harder. If it bleeds, don't cry. Cut deeper. And if you can't move, and you're nodding out, fading away, call Dad. And watch things get much darker. And then I'll bring the light out to save you, and Mom will be very worried. I'll be probably doing the next 10 years in some sort of maximum security place with a lot of annoying buzzes, locked doors, and visits How you doing, son? We good? We're always good, right? No. But we like to act like we are, right? You look good. You got all your stuff. You're rocking and rolling. I mean, you got your captain's chair, which I'm pretty jealous of. And everything seems to be 100% dog diggity. It does. That's a good way to be. Because, side note, when I made it this far, I ran into a lot of people answering how they are by saying copacetic. Yeah, I did the same thing in my brain. Son, you gotta go slow with that. Lilliputoo. Yeah, a little face. They always used to say copacetic. These are knuckle draggers right off the doll bus and headed right back into when I could use the word retard. And watch everybody laugh and do the chest hit with their limp hand and then just start yelling like Sloth off the Goonies. And it was contagious. Yeah, those people, copacetic, that's the first time I've said the word, and I'll never say it again, because it triggered something. As I was saying the line, I was like, oh, this is the word that should come after it when I describe how good you are doing. And I changed it because I'm in active conscious thought as I talk. And each word better not fumble and trip up the next word coming after, and then end up using that word, hating myself that I pulled it to you and forced to live the rest of my life with that mistake I'll never be able to fix, because I can't turn back time. And if I could, we wouldn't have the time to try, because we're on a schedule, and diverting off of it for travel not already plotted out in the family routine GPS is not going to work well for pops after you're in bed. Time travel what? Just suck it up and admit you can't be perfect all the time. I would say you're anything but how Lee was doing earlier on. Dog diggity 100%. A-OK. Glad to be me. That's what I see when I see you. Someone so in joy and full of everything just mentioned and more, because I want to string on that colorful compliment with roses and fairy beads that can only be found in places that you believe actually have fairies, not the ones with the limp wrists, but the ones that if you catch them in those woods, green and plush and enchanted as they are, put them in a jar, take them home to your meat dehydrator, put it on the right setting for just the right amount of time, in some of that Nate's natural organic honey and epoxy resin solvent to make it all truly bond together and look like damn actual glass, not the Chinese glass, fake plastic shit you get today, but real glass, like your friends that you aren't friends with anymore because they're in jail for doing exactly what they did back then with those glass pipes, huffing and puffing it in, leading it to a place where you can't get out. And the rain would always trigger your fairy beads that you got strung around your neck that are as manly as one could get, but so few men could ever get them. They're virtually unknown, a rarity past rare, and a treasure for most people, and a good description of how it looks like you're going through your moment, son, because if I was wearing fairy beads on top of all those other nice things I said, I would be out of me. And that would be the experience. Something beyond the normal realm of what human and the senses are used to. So it's good that you're doing all right. When it's Friday and I got out of school, I was on top of the world too. Like, you couldn't slow me down. The only time it was better is if it was that Friday, June 2nd, back in elementary school, midway through, in like 5th grade, when you actually started to being able to think and run out of the house and real on your own, get in trouble and cause fun, stirring it all up. And knowing that this Friday, you didn't have to get back to that dumb as a board or a 286 Radio Shack knockoff a Gateway computer back in the days, or IBM, the shit you just didn't want, but it does the job just enough, but still sucks. And you don't ever go on it for anything other than some report. Yeah. 3 months without that. That was a good Friday. That was a great Friday. My shoes came off that Friday, son. As will yours. They would have already, but it's raining out and it's just a lot more for me to carry and clean up. And the less wet you are is the easier it all is on my delicate ways. So, you don't got summer, but you got Saturday tomorrow. And you got 2 parents who now do their Saturdays in a completely different way than how they did their Saturdays in the time BL. That is before Leonidas. Before Leonidas, that time period, oh, the times we had on Saturdays. Friday nights, Sunday mornings, oh, any 4-day weekend, any just moment where responsibility was not there, guess what would go in its place? A lot of stuff that you better do responsibly or you'll pay the price. Nowadays, it's kind of the same thing. It's just the whole thing on a Saturday. You already know that it's after BL. It's just the years of L. Leonidas. Saturdays they start not like Saturdays used to start. A little later in the morning. Oh no, Lee. That's right. 6 in the morning every morning we're up, right? That's darn right. That's the only time to get up. Because that's when you get up. And you don't know one day from the next. You know there's some changes, but I got you somewhere, eh? You got your mouth full of mangoes I dried up. That's where I got the reference for the dehydrated fairy balls I was talking about. Thinking about my dehydrating machine and the good food I make for you, buddy. Anyhow. Yeah, we're up butt crack early in the morning before that sun's made it all the way to getting coffee and stretching. Yeah, you'll definitely see me saying, yeah, I beat you again. And there's nothing you can do about it because I can't tell you to sleep in when every night you sleep a solid 12 hours, which is amazing. And anybody doesn't believe it, you better. And I take zero credit for that one because I don't read these books that your mom reads. And normally I say, you gotta go your own way. You know, stuff that's already written is stuff that's been done. And most of these kids out here, you know, I don't want anything to do with what they got going on. Besides, look like they're sick. Just too happy all the time. And yeah. But that one, wherever she got that, I don't know exactly. But she gets all the freaking credit because, boom, she had a routine and you stuck to it, Lee. It was a little weird for me, but I said, I'm going to go with this because I trust her. And thank God, because it took a little bit, and now you're just 12 hours every night. 6:30 p.m. you're out. And then, 6:30 a.m. you're up all night. You know how great it is to have 12 hours with you at peace? I'm not going to say or explain like anything to you on to make that sound better because I'd just be BSing you. It is what it is. It's the same way I was just going to explain it. Yeah, 12 hours when you're sleeping, it's great, son, because you are a ball of energy and a tornado of fun. And the best amount of juice that I have in me is exhausted times 10 by the time we put you down. So I just need to recharge with a little bit of this and a little bit of that and some asleep and then do it all again and be happy because every morning I wake up with you, buddy. That smiling face I see. Best reason to somehow want to make a 5-star breakfast. Look like a cuisine, son. Call me La Mike. You'd have thought I was winner of Master Chef and then took over for Gordon Ramsay and kicked that fat one out and that skinny smoker because they were just filler. And it was all me every morning making you 5-star meals that sometimes are eaten and sometimes are just picked at and sometimes, yeah, that's right, are just replaced for a banana because you wanted a banana that day. But I'll keep it on chugging because to see that, what? No. We're almost home. There's no more stuff in there. You got a load of mango still and an apple. which makes me happy. But, sometimes excess can lead to choking. And you haven't done it yet, but I just could see it happening. That's where I got to put the dad foot down. Man, I'm just being lazy because I'm trying to do all these tight turns in a wide car. Makes me think of how a fat person would answer the question if I posed it to them on how do you go to the bathroom? Because I'm normal and you got like 4 of my butts. How does that work? You gotta have poop everywhere. Yeah, anyway, Lee, we're out of here now. Look at that rain. Let's walk through it. Not run, walk. Because we're men. It's just water. Son, before we begin this, I believe, don't tell me I left it. Did I? I should have double checked. I didn't. I'm sorry. Thought I brought you some fruit snacks that I made. I guess I didn't. But I did bring you that drink, so I hope that's all right. Sorry, buddy. And I said I got a chupo for you, but nothing. Uh-oh's right, huh? Let's go. Ready? I like driving with it. Yes, sir. I'll take a left like you say, and then I don't know if I could speed up as fast as you're asking me to, because we got the police officer right there. Just kidding, son. Of course we could speed up as fast as we want, right by him. You know why? Remember, we're in Miami Beach, and police, they're not really in the cars that say police. If you're a tourist or just don't know the lay of the land, not like you and I, then you'll see those police cars and slow down and beware, because obviously that's a speed trap or just somebody waiting to fill his quota. But if you live here, you've been down a road and backed up and down the same road too many times, you know there's nobody in there. And if there is, sometimes there is no actual police work being done. That I can promise you. And I base that off of not speculating, but actually talking. And going up to the men in the cars. When I used to ride around that electric unicycle thing, I had a lot of balls with me then. Nobody could touch me. It was like I was flying. And in a way it was, because with my attitude, I really knew I was doing nothing wrong with a lot of the things I was doing. And even if I was, I knew it wasn't that wrong for anybody to get that mad and do anything to me. And yes, I rolled with it, but I'd always stop, and give a thought-out question about whatever was on my mind regarding a thing that maybe the police would have some involvement in. I'd let him have it. Say, hey, knock, knock, knock on his window. Give me a look like, hey, what's up, man? I said, what are you doing? Give me a look. I said, you watching YouTube? Yeah. What do you want? You know those boats that are always abandoned in the bay? Can I swim out and just take them? Or would you arrest me? I don't even know, he says. But if I saw you doing it, I wouldn't arrest you. But I really don't know the answer. So, all right, man, have a good one. He went back to his YouTube. I went back to my life. And I did that many a time, son. And that told me that many of police are just chilling there watching YouTube. That good? You drink all that? Whoa, boo. Let me see, son. Wow, you drank all that chagua? Hold on, I'll put some of mine in there. I'll give you my drink so you can have more in your drink. I will do that for you. Because you're saying agua, I'm saying stop everything. Here you go, buddy. Have some more. You're thirsty. Those refugees we got watching you at that daycare, they taking all your lunch? You're looking a little thin. We give you a big lunch with some hearty, good, healthy food. And, yeah, you're looking a little thin compared to if you were to eat that whole lunch. What it looks like you do, because there's nothing left in that lunch. When I open that little bento box I got you and see just scraps, if anything. Look like it'd been licked clean sometimes. And I know you don't know how to lick a plate clean yet, let alone a bento box. Hard to get in there. You need a big refugee finger, like them ones watching you. Or are they just fighting in the pit every day, come near lunch, on who's gonna get your leftovers? Because I know, son, from feeding you every day, there's gotta be some leftovers. I gotta put a hidden camera in that lunchbox, or buy a lunchbox with a hidden camera in it. One of the two. And fill it, load it up. Some of the most sought after food to anybody watching you. That's agua. You're sucking it down. That's a lot. Put it in your cup holder. Put it in the cup holder. Just hold it up. That's not a good move. Put it right there. Why you want to drop it? What's this? Okay, now we got to do a move, motherfucker. Not so. Yeah, I've been suspecting that for a while. Why are you so thirsty? This was some good juice, I made for you this morning. It's all pure and natural. You got a little bit of everything in it. It's healthy as can be. I mean, you don't really drink the whole thing at home, but boy, it seems like you're always finishing it. Everything you bring there, you finish. Except, a couple times, every once in a while, there'll be like some obscure vegetable we put in there. A couple of those pieces get sent back, which doesn't say much, because they're probably so full off the bounty of good and plenty. The winner of the pit fight of the day gets to snake off you while you're just trying to put down a fork and a bite in a normal amount of time that it would take a man of your stature and caliber to do that. They're probably getting 8 or 9 handfuls stuff in their bras, made out of milkweed thistle and dead rat hides. Yeah, I suspect they're eating your food. And you know what would be nice is if that police officer that's non-existent, because the truck, the K9 unit, he's always there, but is he really there? Why, I should maybe bring him to life and see if he could do his job. since you're sitting there all day, why don't you use this pair of binoculars I got you off Amazon? Instead of looking straight ahead at that workout studio that just opened and what's in it, which I suspect is exactly the reason you're parked where you're parked, because I seen that one in that workout studio. I don't know if she owns it, but she definitely is running it. And she is a walking advertisement for fitness. And policing too, I'm sure. But in between classes, why don't you try to peep in on what's doing in my son's lunchtime? Because I suspect if you check those dollar store bras on the help, you're going to find them stuffed with a bunch of delicious gourmet food. You put two and two together, I don't know if that is enough for a case, but my word's got to mean something. And I'm saying that delicious gourmet food is my son's, and they're taking it.
Bye.
Grand Theft Taco. Right, son? That'd be something. The thing is,
Hi.
are you saying hi to those people? Here, roll the window down. Those are some down and out folk right there. Those are. They're all waiting for the bus. Yeah, the bus. The BUS. The RTD, the rough, tough, and dangerous. Or ride the whatever. Yeah. Public transportation. A lot of people deep on it. You always see that in the big cities. Public transportation in big cities is that's a roll of the dice. If you're not a dicey kind of guy and you're not used to that kind of mix-up that tends to happen when you're on one of them 50-cent tickets to... What's that? No, that says kids' birthday parties right there on the right. A strange-looking man in there. Indoor playground. Why is indoor playground kids' birthday parties? Why is that a mattress center? Doesn't make any sense. Maybe I'm just not a pedophile and wouldn't make a sign in a store like that and think that nobody's going to catch on. Well, it wouldn't be that police officer either, because back to that, any of that could happen only in like a Jerry Orbach kind of Law and Order type of world where, you know, you got the policeman and he's really doing his policing. He's really going above and beyond. He's actually a detective or something. Detecting shit, not just waiting for the call and then following up like a Domino's pizza delivery guy who actually gets tips, you know, if you're one of them snitches. No, this is in a fictional world where life is like television or the movies, and I would go to a police officer and say, hey, officer, please, these ladies, I believe they're stealing my son's delicious lunch. Maybe not the whole thing. I'm sure he's getting some. They're not that evil, but they're taking the leftovers. And my son might need those leftovers. But if he doesn't, I know the trash does. Because I'm not feeding and paying. That's just too damn nice. You know what I mean, son? You know what I mean, cop? Yes, sir, we're right on it. We will be right on it. I am so sorry about this. Allow me to get my investigative team at the ready. Actually, I just saw Die Hard last night, so I'll be John McClane. That's even more nonsensical than everything else that I do and get paid for from you. So, it's your tax dollars. Shit, yeah, I'm gonna work. And on the way there, I'll defuse some bombs and save the day and whatever. None of that's going to happen, son. I could yell up a tree and be a cat in the fire department. Wouldn't even move, let alone a policeman giving a shit that I just did. Yeah. So, I think we just got to monitor your weight, calories that are in every meal, and then start doing the math, become some nutritionist or some shit. And I would have to be by that point. Exactly, yeah, nutritionist Mike. Nutritionist Dad. And once I figure out what's going on, then I can get to doing. Then I'll get my karate in on. I don't know. I'm just kidding there, son. But a hidden camera would probably be the smartest thing. Maybe even just a little microphone. See what's really doing in there. Damn it.
Yeah.
That's right. Do you want to go home right now? Or what's our options, buddy? I wanted... Shit, it's 4? Well, I wanted to see some security cameras. But I should probably do that just online. I'm just jumping the gun, right? I am. I think I am. Yeah, I'm sorry. What's up? What's the... Uh-oh. Oh, no. What was that? I always think, uh-oh, is going to mean poop. Even though it never has, son. I'm just going off some, again, TV lie that I got fed that says that's what all kids do. When they go poop, they go, uh-oh. Maybe they do, but up to this point, it ain't you. I'd like to say you're so much different than so many of them other kids out there, and I know that you are, and better in so many ways also. Look-wise, intelligence, and just athletic ability, reaction, all that conversation. No, I feel you. But yeah. Hey, what do you think about that game changer I introduced you and changed your dinner game, breakfast game, and lunch also, if I could slip that into your daycare and have them use it on you with the new fork I made you. You like that? You like that new fork? Are you yawning? Shit, am I that boring? I must be. You know what? Hey, we'll talk about the fork later. We're done. Let's play some tune. Hey, son. I see you yawning back there, and I'm sorry that I gotta drink this coffee right in front of you, those yawns. Yeah, it's a good noise. I used to do the same thing when I was your age. I'm not lying.
Canceled.
I used to yawn, want to go to bed right after I got up, and definitely not go to school. Sorry, buddy. I know how it is. School can be quite annoying. Because at this hour, there's everything else that you want to be doing. Starting with, for most people, still sleeping. But it's funny how that works because they're only tired because of school. Uh-oh. No uh-ohs yet. The only reason you get tired sometimes is because of what you know you have to do. It's like your body just says, oh man, mind, you win. And the mind takes over. And if your mind is not too motivated about what's coming up, neither is your body. But on the flip side, son, if you oh's right. Yeah. If you didn't have to go to school, you'd probably be up anyway, because you're used to getting up at this hour, and you wouldn't be tired at all. So you saying that you want to be sleeping right now, or everybody saying that, you know, hypothetically, it's just what they think at the moment, but really, they're no more tired than they are every day they wake up at the same time, which is the time they're used to. It's a part of their circadian rhythm, and it's making their homeostasis what it is. You know, if you do the same thing over and over and over, eventually you just get used to it. But back to school and that drive to going to it at this hour, which is 7:28 a.m. Too early for even God to be up. But a lot of people would say otherwise, because they'd be looking around saying, he damned me. Well, he didn't damn me. And if I believed that he could control the little ticks and the times and lines that life has to offer us in terms of how society runs and stuff like that, I'd probably be writing him an email or two also. But I don't think things work like that. So I just blame, well, you know, I don't blame too many people, son, because this is actually daycare, and we pay to put you here. So this is by our choice, and I'm sorry, but it's a good choice. I know it is. It's better than just playing with cars at home all day. You don't want to be that, because that's what you were doing. You're playing with some cars. You wanted to play with those good little Mario Karts. And I did too. But this is better. So sometimes you got to take that hard road so that it gets easier in the end. But actually, I don't think any of this matters to you at all. You're indifferent to any of the places you got to go. This is probably a party. I mean, you're not sitting there being bored. You're doing stuff. That's what we pay for, damn it. Oh, that's right, sonny son. Well, there's that cop again sitting there looking at that. Hi. I should tell her that you said hi. Let her know. She's being rude. Good morning, Lee, and we are off to school again. Bet you didn't want to hear that. Or did you? No. I forgot. We talked about it yesterday. It's not for you what I remember it is for me. And that, my son, is a pretty good thing. Pretty good. Because for me, school was a gladiator camp. It really was. And you're going to hear about... Exactly. Good job. You'll hear about your dad at school. And you'll want to clap, because it's pretty cool, I think. Just to, oh, but my children. This is just morning rush hour. We left late. Mom was a little bit tired. So we're biting the bullet for the team. And yeah, same thing, biting the bullet. It's kind of what it felt like heading into class for your pops in junior high. In junior high, that was a true test into one's true self and what it is that self can be turned to have to be. That's right, buddy. We're talking self at its most animalistic and downright, that's from balls to the wall crazy. You know, to put it in perspective. Wow. Wow. That's what I'd say too when I look back on it. And then I kind of laugh. You see, I came to a new school in junior high, and I had it all, worked out for me in elementary school where I lived. Another town, 20 miles away. So this was like a whole nother country where I was at. I know. And I came in there with I came with the same mentality that I had in elementary school, where I could do as I pleased because I'd earned my name there and people knew what I was made of. I'd taken out all the ones that thought that they could be me to me. Never happened. I didn't stand for it. Junior high, though, there were a lot of new faces here around here. And gangs were the big thing. Everybody seemed to be Mexican and part of one. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't taking that. What is this? Let's follow this guy's route. Because this detour seems like a oh shit. We're just waiting. F it. Alright, we're in traffic. It's alright. We're stuck. Yeah. It's traffic. Piece of poop. Wow. Look at this traffic, son. Look at how bored. You can't even see. It sucks. Alright. Sorry. I got swayed. No, so everybody was in a gang when I was trying to figure out my way to be. In this new school. Uh-oh. A-E-I-O-U. I was like you, just figuring it out and working it through. And I was never a vicious man. I was more of a funny man and liked to laugh. Still do. Even when there was a gun pointed at my head. You know what I did? Laughed it off. And people don't know what to make of that. But I wasn't going to change. I was just going to change everything around me so that everything around me would understand me. And that took a whole year of fighting everybody. The whole gang, the North Side Mafia, as they call themselves, that once dominated that school, because they had come from the elementary schools next to that school. And they all joined up. They were a powering jumble of, I guess, stuff that you could look back and say Hollywood made them, because it just made a bunch of knuckleheads. But at the time, we were all knuckleheads. And so, the only way I figured I would be able to stand up to everybody, and when it was just me, was to make my own gang, son. I made my own gang, comprised of me as the leader, my buddies in Lakewood, who recruited members in, and then, it was just me, because I had a Mexican friend, and he wasn't going to be in the West Side White Boys with me. Just wouldn't fly. We had our white rags, our white gang riding. We had it all. I started to build a name for myself by fighting for my gang against my rival gang, who I went to class with every day. And what the fuck? And every day, there would be something new. Just when I thought I'd taken care of this, here comes that. It was like I was going up the ladder. From small little soldier to big boss. And at the top would have been a kind of he would have been the king. Say it was chess and the rest were, all fighting. The top was the king. Little small man named Rocky. Mexican dude, must have stood 3 foot tall. Thought he was something. Well, when I beat everybody in front of the whole school, time after time, after school, I won that school. And the next year, my name was one you couldn't forget. It was serious. I know traffic sucks. So you know what I did to these guys the next year? After everybody, all the jocks and the cool people and whoever it was, they went to my side. So I was the man, and they went to my side. I sacrificed everything. They got to revel in the reward of everybody being knocked down. And then now I was running the show. So whatever I did, previously only funny to me, now was funny to everybody. And that meant, hey, Rocky, before every class, you're now going to be running through the halls trying not to be 60-second noogied or 60-second arm burned. These were moves I made up. Not the actual move, but the amount of seconds that you had to give that move. And this would be done by a pile of people. Pile of people under me. Unknowingly or not. Peons to my direction. And reason why I'm your dad, son. Because I'm not one of those peons just waiting for somebody to give me direction. And I don't know. Anyhow, we're trying to keep a hold of that. But the traffic and this and the that and your beautiful noises, I love those. Which are actually better than anything I have to say.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, that's a little lady walking across the street in the middle of traffic. Look at you.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Dude.
Hi.
Who are you waving at, buddy? Well, it's time to school, so we'll end it. Let's roll, son. You ready? You were born ready? I don't think so. You were born wet. Around, I think, 7 pounds. Long like all Hannahs are, and perfectly calm. Perfectly calm. Not a tear in the eye. Dry as can be. People would have thought, is that guy meditating? Because look at him come into the world. Calm as the mom. Both. Just kick back. Chilling. And then there was Dad. That's me. If you remember, I was parked off in the spot. Just a couple feet away, near the middle corner of the room. If you remember, which I'm sure you do, parked to my mouth in between my lips, which were of a normal moisture level, not too dry, coarse, not too wet and sloppy. Just enough to say he ain't anything other than same as everybody else in the room. Just taking the moment as no different than any other in the many days we passed through. But now that we had you, figured I'd light that up. Take a slow, deep, relaxing inhale of that tar stick charity I had been graciously donated onto from the doctor performing the C-section that afternoon. Calm would have been the word of the day. If this day were to stick out and smell like a different one from every other. And I mean, I think it was you coming into the world, son, that gave it that aroma of goodness and value. And high up there, and how I rank the days that I will remember most upon my exit. Hopefully many, 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 many from now. As I'm sure you will too. As your mind had been, I'm sure, contemplating that moment, the whole time, you'd been in there ever since part of you got blown out of me. Bless you, son. This is what I've been saying every day since. And what I'll be saying all them days after. And then life went back to normal, didn't it? It was just me, you, and Mom, and we had a big house and a white picket fence and cable TV and not quite the amount of kids to meet the quota of the average American family, but by golly, God darn it, we were on our way. What next? Son, that would be a nice way to say that day. Unfortunately, the people in the hospitals, they, I believe, do their best to act the part of hospital folk, ones that are supposed to care, mend, and repair, and help, and save all those weary and needy souls, I know, that have to walk through there or get flown in by Flight for Life. Or, in your case, have an appointment for which the birth is induced or planned because they say you've been in there too long. But have you? Because that whole debacle right in the middle of COVID was just an excuse for all those staff filling up those hospitals to have to try to act like they're still doing good. And not just people controlled by the pen that writes the checks and puts the money in their bank accounts and keeps those shiny BMWs on an ever-rotating lease, filling their driveways. Including the Mexican lawn care and car wash team, front door / driveway service, not including tip, that stop by every Tuesday and Thursday just to keep it looking green as can be and opulent as grass can look. The fertilizer alone, you wouldn't believe the price, son. I know. And all that boils down to the day, son, it was a long, long bout. Seems like I was up for a couple of them. Just fighting keep your mom with no pain. I know. And trying to talk through this actor's studio wannabe mainstream Hollywood couldn't even get onto public access television, even if they paid for it. It was damn near impossible because you got a whole class versus one dad who you could just peg as crazy because he's dad. Oh, just a guy you don't even have to remember his name. Smile and call me dad. Do your job. My name tag says Mike. What are you gonna do for me? More bad acting? Anyway, to boil it down, son, we're actually hitting up school. I know, buddy. All in all, it still was the greatest day ever because you came out fine. And I'm glad through the toil and the turmoil and the trickery and the tricks that you ended up like this. Make every day that much better when you're gone from a place that seems so much worse. I love you, son. Pulling up into the school. Say hello. That is a lady with some work done on her face, son. She has lips like a fish. Can you believe that? Her lips look like a fish. Her head was sunken in like a skeleton. And her forehead on the top was blown out. Like, I don't know. Me and my son doing stuff, learning about life off the cuff. Just teaching my boy about what I see, to give him the knowledge and the key to be way, 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 way better than me. But it's all up to me. Do 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 do. Good afternoon, son. Glad. Oh, what's up? What you looking at? What is that? You want more of these fruit snacks? This is dehydrated fruit. I brought you a little bag. Here you go. You know what? Here. Let me open the bag a little bit. I'll take a couple out for me and give a couple to you. Okay? How's that sound? I'll leave them in the bag. There you go. Give you something to do, something to figure out, because at this point in your life, your mind is like a sponge and it's taking it all in. Life for you, it is at its most important. It is budding and blossoming and blooming and right in front of me. You may not notice it, but I do. And everybody else, they do too. And let me tell you, I'm not just saying this because I'm your dad. I'm not. I'm going to tell you the truth and shoot you straight up. I think you're one in a million, if not a little more. And I'm basing that off of everybody else and their kids. Yeah, I see a lot of that. It's the truth. I see a lot of that. And I'm glad It's not in you. Now, I know this is a biased thing, and yeah, she's on her phone in the car. Yeah, nobody knows what she's doing. They're at the bus stop, waiting for the bus, also on the phone, while waiting. Yeah, everybody's on the phone. Sorry. Had to answer your question. You know, you gotta complete 100% going about you. And that goes from, first and foremost, you know, what I see off the get-go, and that's your looks. You've gotten through the alien phase where you come out of mom and your head just isn't what it should be, and it's past that. Now it is a good, darn looking head. And it's a great piece of face you got on it, too. I mean, really. And that says a lot, because you don't want to be starting off bad. Because if you start off with a peanut head, or an oblong, obtuse rohangaboid, which is a shape only meant for somebody who had a head shaped like that, uh-oh, is what you'd say. You got a good... you got a good... Oh, it all fits. I like that. Even your uh-oh is the ultra cute uh-oh. It's the perfectly placed, symmetrical, aligned design. And that goes down to your toes, including that good belly button that you can attribute to my great snipping skills, where I didn't even hesitate, son. I made sure you weren't going to get an outie. Oh, you're all done with the bag? Here, Poople. That's it, that's it, that's it. I have a harmonica, but not more fruit snacks, because I know those fruit snacks are everywhere. Exactly. Now, what? Yeah, you can't eat the harmonica, but you know that. But you could play the beans out of it. You got to flip it around. The other side. Other side? I like that you're at the perfect percentage in everything that they rate you at the doctor's office, which is the main reason why I even go in there. Anything else, kind of just a waste of time. I just want to hear somebody else say, my son has the perfect head. And they tell me that. Perfect. Yeah. Because I know there's a great brain in that head. And that says a lot. Because if you had the peanut head, you'd have a peanut brain in there probably. Exactly. You have neither. You all right? Like this. This way. This way, son. This way. Try this. There you go. There you go. Blow in. You gotta, uh-oh, don't drop. Oh, it's okay. There you go. Always got a backup, just in case. You got to think about things like this. You little doodle. But, you know, that's enough about how good I know you are. Because I don't want to let it go to your head. Yeah, I would be happy too. I would. Good job. Good job, son. Good job. I love that. That's some good harmonica playing. That's some of the best. Oh, I could play with you too. I got 2 harmonicas. Okay, your turn. You don't need, well, we don't want to be greedy. 2 harmonicas makes no sense. You know? And, okay, I'll give you 2 harmonicas. You know why? You know why? Because what am I going to do with one? Look at you, playing the hell out of them both. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job, son. That's what I like to see. Play it good, play it loud. Uh-oh, play it for me. Uh-oh, play it for me. Good job. Good job. Better job, Bob. That was a good job, son. These knuckleheads up here. You know, you really impressed me right there. You showed me. Hello. How you're waving at all those folk waiting for the bus, huh? Oh, you're the nicest. Yeah. You know, they would wave back if they saw you. But I'll wave and say, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi. Hello. Hi. What a nice guy. Oh, what a nice guy. They're busy people. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. But keep trying. I know if they saw you, they'd wave back. If they didn't, that would make them. That's a fact. Hi, Lee. How are you? Hello? Well, how are you? Good to see you today. Hi. We're gonna make a little stop at the store. So I think there's a couple things we need before we go in. Let's give a stop and continue on the day, buddy. All right? Love you. What? What a guy. All right. Me and my son doing stuff, learning about life just off the cuff. Just teaching my boy about what I see and then give him the knowledge and the key to be way, 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 way better than me, smarter than me, faster than me, sharper than me. But hey, Lee, come on, buddy. Hi, let's go. Doo-doo-doo-dee. All right, you ready? You ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Roll them windows down and get them doggies rolling on out of town. Because why? Well, me and my son doing stuff, learning about life off the cuff. I'm just teaching my boy about what I see, giving him the knowledge and the key to be way, 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 way better than me, smarter than me, faster than me, sharper than me. I don't think funnier than me, right, Lee? It's possible. I hope so. I hope. You stole the show, though, at the store. You did. I gotta say, I am very proud of the way you handled yourself. And around all that mumbo jumbo. You understood. We can't have all that mumbo jumbo. If we have all that, then who are we? We. Exactly. We are just part of the problem, because the mumbo jumbo, that's basically what's filling the store. A lot of junk that they call food that doesn't need to be inside either of us. You know that? It doesn't need to be anywhere near your tummy. So why start by teasing the mouth? Making it all sweet, salty, corn syrupy, fructosey, good. Because you got to swallow after, right? Now mumbo jumbo. What's up? Oh, I got a little drink there, but I can't give that to you at the moment because I'm driving and you're back there, and it's a glass bottle. Kombucha Cayenne Cleanse. I know it's your favorite, but I just see it going everywhere. I know it will. And I'm just not going to do that experience. Well, luckily, you just distracted yourself with that fart. I envy you. I envy you. It's weird how, you know, exactly. That's me. That's me. That's me. Dado Lee. Me. Do Lee Lee Lee. You. Oh, wow. This? Where's your harmonica? You had two of them, and then I don't... Oh, no. What? Well, we're almost home. But, you know, you talk about that fart you did. It distracted you, as a fart generally does. Even up to this point. It's always a distraction. But you paid no mind to anybody else around you. Just me and you. And you went along your day and got your moment done and did your business. You didn't think twice about what anybody else might think about that fart you did in this car with the windows closed. Nope. And I respect that. I kind of envy that, because you're going against what society's norms dictate as proper and the way to be. Which just pushes, well, I'm going to tell you, it just pushes so many people into leading these little secret lives full of the moments that you just let her rip. Yeah? If everybody were like that, I think the world would be a lot more honest. Because everybody, it's a slippery slope, son. And they start somewhere. And guess what? If you're hiding something like a fart, what are you going to be doing next? What are you going to be doing next? You know what? I think I could do all this in one trip. I don't... shit. Can I do it all in one trip? Fuck, I bet not. No, we're going to go around. We're going to go around. Yeah, I'm doing things the right way. I was going to carry all the groceries up, including the bags I grabbed from storage, plus you and myself no belt on, so my pants would be falling down. And yeah, I was going to do it all in one trip without the cart. But I'm going the right way, and I'm going to do it like this, like I should, because it's a good example for you. That other way is not the best example. It's a little wild. Nobody knows what to make of it, but I do it because I can. Because I like to save time and I don't want to waste it getting some stupid cart and doing this, but I'm doing this and getting the stupid cart anyway. All right, let me get the stupid cart. Me and my son doing stuff, learning about life off the cuff. Just teaching my boy about what I see and give him the knowledge and the key to be way, 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 way better than me. Leonidas, it's Friday morning, and you are coming out in the world with a bang. And it says, crime need not wake up today because I'm here. Out of my crib and wearing a superhero outfit that clearly says on the back of my cape, Super Leonidas. So anybody who thought this Friday was going to be their day to do some anti-superhero kind of stuff, well, you got another thing coming. Right, son? Bang. Yeah. You look good in it. I envy you. I think a lot of people do. Aside from the amount of cuteness that you radiate out of that custom-made cape and headband that was made for you when you were just the littler guy than you are now. So, for some reason, the cape still works, but the headband, that was actually made for you to use as a belt. But your mom, she makes things happen. If I'd have known that this thing was still around, believe me, son, you'd have been Super Leonidas plenty of times before today. But that would have been me ruining all the fun. In Superhero Day at daycare. A day I didn't even know existed, but now I do. And I'll be looking for it on the calendar next time around, which I doubt is annually. You probably have Superhero Day more than not. I don't know. To be able to dress as a super version of yourself, that is something people won't let you get away with forever. There's a certain point, I imagine, when you become consciously aware of who it is you are, what you do, and the way the world works. Then have the skills to be able to dress yourself, choose your own clothes. Imagine sometime around puberty when things will take a dark turn and everything will get flipped around if you let it. And this is something that's just dependent on how you react to what happens next. Because if you're in junior high, say first day of 7th grade, and you choose Super Leonidas cape as an accessory to whatever it is mom chose for you to wear on the first day of school. You better get ready for some thunder, because you're bringing lightning to your young peers. And the thunder, once it hits, that's where you find out what's making you tick, son. You find out what kind of person you really are. When the thunder booms loud. And only for one reason. Because what comes before thunder, son? That superhero cape that you're wearing and all the lightning it shoots out. People are gonna laugh if you let them. People, they may even call you names other than Super Leonidas. If you let them. That's right. The world you know could be flipped. Upside down or right side, wrong backwards. Thank you for the tune. Into something less harmonic. And that's what I want you to do if something like that ever happens. Play away, son, and play loud. That's right, buddy. You play loud. You play it loud. You play it like a boy wearing a Superman cape with his last name on it. Should. And you be proud. You be proud, my son. Always be proud. Me and my son doing stuff, learning about life off the cuff. Just teaching my boy about what I see and give him the knowledge and the key to be way, 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 way better than me. Hey, son. Glad to be off school? I'll bet. Glad to see you here. You know that? It's a hot one out here today. The mercury reads 92 outside. Thank God we're in here. You got the police up ahead, got their lights on. They just flew through that intersection. And then, strange, they turned their lights right back off. You know what that is, son? That's a shifty move. From a guy with some power and more lights than we'd have. You know, I can't blame him though, fault him for it, because if I had all those lights, I'd be doing the same thing just like he's doing right now again. Except this time, looks like he's pulling someone over. Someone caught the tail end of the stick. Yeah, it's not us, buddy. Not us. We're good to go. We're good to go, though. No, don't worry. Police will never catch us until they do. When they do, believe me, I'll be wishing. No. That's the truth. No, I will be wishing. Yeah, we'll be wishing we had some lights to turn on in our favor. Odds are, though, we won't. Odds are I'll just be in jail, and you, man of the house, you'll have to take care of things when I'm gone. You know what that entails? Exactly. A lot of that. Yeah, but you got to do it silently, son. You have to do it. You have to do it silently in your head, because the man of the house, yeah, he wants to do that all day long. But guess what? He can't. Or else he's no longer the man of the house. He's just a crying baby. You're not crying, and I'm not calling you a baby. What you're doing, yeah. You're allowed to do that. But if I go, people say, what's wrong with you? When you say it, people say, what can I do for you? There's a big difference. What's wrong with you? When you go, that means I need to fix my problem. But in your hand, it's us who needs to figure out what we're doing and then do it different. So, get ready to do that. And there's a couch that needs to be moved also. Being that I won't be around, you, the man, you're gonna have to handle that. And I know you will. You'll handle that in some way or another. I mean, probably the same way I'll handle it. You just didn't make it happen eventually. Well, no, you don't have to do the couch, son. We're just talking hypothetically. Don't worry. None of this will happen. But if it did, maybe ask Mom for some help. I didn't do the same thing, but she saw me moving the couch and halfway through said nothing. She just started to help, and I said, baby, I got this. 1,000-pound couch. Don't worry. think she was worried more about the floors than my back. It's all right, though. Thank God you're just a kid. What can I do for you, son, to make your day just a little better? Huh? Don't worry. I'll figure it out. Love you, son. Love you. You know, son, it's hard not to give you everything you ask for, and then everything I knew I'd want back when I was your age, probably didn't get. And then all the stuff that I did have and I knew was great. Then add on your mom and all the same things. And then multiply everyone else in the world who doesn't have a kid, that somehow has a connection to you, thinking the same thing and acting on it. And I'm counting even the ones that bring gifts from the dollar store. Or Ross every time. It's not the price, it's the thought. But if you go out of the way to get the cheapest possible thing, then the thought isn't really counting that high. At least on my scale, son. Because sounds more like an obligation on that. Piece of reason you get cancer 20 years down the line. Soon to be recalled. Fake plastic. Which will be a new one because it's fake plastic, so if the stuff in plastic was doing you wrong, can you imagine what horrors they're gonna find out get done to every piece and part and thing that should be and now it ain't, that make up every little body that had been tortured over and over by the friends and family members who believed it was to buy and bring because that equals customary and the right thing society expects any person in their position to always do if they are to hope society shall grade them with a letter much better than F for fuck off with your plastic bullshit. D for dig a ditch. And start to dream that I'd like this. Because see, me walking away, leaving your 99-cent representation of why I don't like you. Wasting time. Making me open shitty break before the rip on the package gifts. And B-I-T-C-H is how I spell your name. Because A, that is the grade I give to the people that paid attention to me and not what society might have been expecting all them times you thought you were taking a pop quiz that was no sweat. With that answer sheet you kept recycling over and over, missing the whole point. Of why you gotta be somebody more than just that person who never changes. And is about as interesting as giving the same dumb answers somebody else told you to pencil in good and dark every Friday on the same pop quiz that happened every Friday in the same class. With the same kids. Yeah. Son, you know what? We went off on a bit of a where it was taking us. Hold on. I gotta bend back and almost kill us both by. What do we need? Here we go. Don't turn green on me. There we are. No, I don't know what you lost. I can't get it. Reach it, son. Sorry. I don't have much of anything else for you to play with, so let's not dance with death and live forever with you just missing the touch of Jesus by not being fully conscious before I sent you out. And me forced to dine in the regret of my dance I foolishly did with the devil on this hot Miami sunlight every night. No, son, I think it not. So we'll just have to value the first toy I see on the ground when I'm reaching back in the middle of the stoplight to the one you actually want, because I think you dropped it way under the seat. And much as I love your harmonica, I love you a little more. And I respect the chance to use some of that other toy that I grabbed up, because I bought it for you. Unlike that other person that spreads that cancer and gets away with it, at least in this lifetime. I believe that's the kind of plastic you can't bite through at your age with 2 teeth and just start chipping away at the inevitable happening sooner. Changing your reproductive system and your reason to live with everything smaller than how it should be. No, you can't bite that plastic off, son. That's the good, normal priced stuff that costs that because you gotta pay to keep your kids alive and happy. Much less just to keep them happy. But alive and happy? That's hard. That takes a hit out of anybody's pocket. It's the fine balance between alive, flourishing, and happy that gets a little tough. Because now you're tipping the scale on the other end of too much watching over your kid and helping him out and not giving him hamburgers because whatever poison is in that McDonald's, it ain't gonna do nothing today. Here we are, son. That's right, we're pulling in. Just wait for this homeless man or Grateful Dead or Fish fan. One of the two. Don't care. Let us park in the shade. Hold on, Chucho. Let me stop this. We will go in. A little talk.